Well, just share something.
Yeah.
For 20 odd years, I've been practicing Buddhism. I've been on many, many retreats. 10-day silent retreats, the full Monty, looking at walls, trying to get something, to happen. And I was watching TV the other night, and 90% of thoughts going around like a funnel, and then they just went boom.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah.
Wow.
And that was watching a program about football.
I woke
The
up.
Irish,
And it was for free.
yeah. And I had a glass of wine.
I love it.
I had a glass of wine there.
With a glass of wine in my hand. It's great. I love it.
But all those years of doing the right thing,
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it, by the way,
I understand. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
and trying to purify myself and
Yeah.
being ethical,
Yeah.
being a vegetarian,
Yeah.
Just ascending this mountain of purity.
Yeah.
And then something very different happens when you're watching a football match.
Oh, I love it.
But it's just because there was a person trying to do all that other stuff, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
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 It was I've got to do this and I'm trying so hard, and if I just do this will work.
Yeah.
Just ignoring the fact that that was someone trying to do something.
See, another way of looking at this, and people will find this very, very difficult to understand, and I know that. Yeah. If we can see really clearly that we're not responsible for the thoughts, yeah, that everything is just happening in regards to just being aware of the thoughts that are going on personally. Let me make that clear. Yeah. If we're not responsible for any of that, yeah, then all of a sudden, at some point in our life, thoughts start to arise to start seeking, start looking, start inquiring. I'll look at this way, or I'll look at that path, or I'll look at whatever it is, Buddhism, Course in Miracles, whatever it is, yeah. If there's no person there that's responsible for any of that that's occurring, yeah, and we know, well, I know, I'm assuming you guys know, yeah, we know that it's the Absolute that's responsible for all of those thoughts, yeah. So the Absolute creates those thoughts so that eventually the Absolute wakes up.
Yeah.
That's why it's sometimes referred to as a bit of a process, yeah. But people take that on as being, it's a personal process. No. And that's also why I say, relax, it's okay, you're being done. You're being done. Why do the thoughts that arose in me and arose in you, Donna, and arose in you, Malcolm, like, why? I didn't choose to be a seeker.
Yeah.
I didn't choose to start seeking. It just happened based on just different thoughts that just started to arise in mind. And then all sorts of thoughts, yeah, arise after that. I know I'll go off and do this 10-day retreat, silent retreat. I've done them, Malcolm. Yeah. We'll go off and do this 10-day silent retreat. That arises. Yeah. And then we find ourselves going off and doing that 10-day retreat and something may get seen or not seen, or, you know, we may be satisfied with the retreat, or something will come, I wasn't very satisfied, whatever, right? But all of that's just arising as well, yeah. And the whole time, that's a process, if you like, for Jesus, how do I? I'm not quite sure how to put that into words.
Are you trying to say why does it get covered up?
No, not why does it get covered up?
Also covered up.
Why does that particular process happen that way?
Oh, that way? Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I kind of know.
Yeah, just finding the words.
Yeah,
Finding the right words.
yeah, and I'm struggling there. Okay, so, oh, geez, even that's hard.
Try us.
Okay. So there is no personal person, okay? We got that? That's clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. There's no individual, there's no personal entity there. Yeah?
Mm.
What you are is the absolute.
Mm.
That's what you are, okay? And the absolute's not divided, and it's just primarily awareness, primarily, yeah? Then it pulses and comes in, consciousness comes into being, yeah? And in the realm of consciousness, mind is born, yeah? And without mind, you wouldn't know consciousness. You wouldn't be able to experience consciousness. You just wouldn't, yeah?
Is
And
that
then,
because without something that's the opposite, you can't experience the thing to see that it's different? Or is it, what do you mean by you can't experience consciousness without mind? Or do you need mind to get to that point, like the thorn example?
it's not that you can't experience consciousness without, you can't be lured into the dream of consciousness without mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
it's mind that goes about splitting
Yeah.
and dividing and
Yeah.
creating all this stuff, you know, space and time and objects and this and that and
Yeah.
reincarnation, dare I say, right? You know. Then for some reason, at some point in time, for people like us, me, you, Donna, Malcolm, yeah, the thinking starts to change. Now, there's no individual there that's changing the thinking.
Mm.
The thinking just starts to change, yeah. And then there's seeking thinking that starts to happen. Yeah? And then ultimately, at the end of all that, the thinking stops and boom, you arrive here as the absolute. Okay, that's kind of it. Yeah. Now, oh shit! Look at that loop. Look, oh my god, that's amazing. So, absolute can express itself, yeah, as 8 billion different dreamed up characters, yeah, but it can also experience itself awake. The process that it goes through to experience itself awake is it's the absolute that's waking up from its own dream that the absolute created in the first place.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a stirring that starts to happen. Until a bit, like I often say, if there is no personal self, who or what is it that awakens? Really?
Mm.
Because there is the experience. Oh, Jesus, I'll get into trouble saying that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There's the experience of waking. There is. Yeah. Otherwise, and if a person hasn't experienced that yet, and they believe that they don't know it as an experience, yeah, why would they chase it?
Yeah.
Innately,
Sometimes.
what I'm trying to say is innately, yeah, we do know it. And when I use the word we loosely, because we are the absolute. We do know it. So, it's like for that primary pulse into beingness, which is like consciousness, that primary pulse into beingness, which is based on love of being, right? That primary pulse manifests itself via thought only, just thought only, yeah, manifests itself as if we just talk about human beings, as seemingly 8 billion people. Yeah. All those thoughts come from the absolute. All those 8 billion thoughts, yeah, it's the absolute that dreams all these characters into place, yeah, so as the awareness, which is just dead silent, nothing going on, it's not split, it's not dualistic. Awareness itself is not dualistic. Yeah. So it can't know itself. Can't. Yeah. So there's this pulse, and it's difficult to describe it, but let's just say there's this pulse that happens. Consciousness comes into being, yeah, with stuff is experienced. God, stuff is experienced, but what also gets created are all these seeming persons. Yeah. Now, the seeming persons are all dreamed up characters. They all happen in a mind or in the minds of those 8 billion people. Understand there's no people. There's just dreamed characters. The mind is the dream. The content of the mind is absolutely just the dream. Shit. And then, oh man. And then, for whatever reason, yeah, the absolute, yeah, I can't say in some people because there aren't people, but I have to kind of say that, yeah. The absolute in some people decides to then experience itself as a dreamed character, now trying to wake up from the dream. It experiences that, yeah. And for some, they still stay as a dreamed seeker till the day they die. And that's okay. Doesn't matter. Yeah. No one dies. So it doesn't matter, right? And then for others, you know, the awakening occurs, and then that awareness, right, which is non-dual, yeah, via consciousness, gets to experience itself in its actuality whilst still being here in the seeming dream. See, I spend many hours like this. I'd be hopeless in a relationship. I'm either doing this or I'm sitting in my backyard doing nothing, right? But I spend many hours in just sitting in absolute dead silence, nothing happening, not conscious of anything. Like it's like consciousness becomes absent. But there's this. But there's a. How do I? Jesus, how do I put that into words? I don't know. There's the. It's like you revert from consciousness back to the whole. So prior to consciousness, that's what I experience when I sit in the backyard and everything just goes cha, just shuts down. Everything just shuts down. Yet there's it's not nothing that gets experienced. I can't put it. I really can't. I don't know. I can't really put that into words. But Jesus. And then for it to be appreciated, mind starts to stir, which then brings in or awakens to consciousness. Without the mind stirring at all, in absolute dead, like nothing going on, yeah, consciousness becomes absent. Like in deep sleep, I guess, yeah. Consciousness disappears. No longer conscious of, yeah. But awareness is still there.